Hello, since I was a kid, there's a Chuck Casper. I never had class with him, never hung around with him. People recorded, confessed, and demonstrated that he was involved with them with downtown Hartford clubs. And also, there's Fox Connecticut News and buildings next to them, and like the shared policing of them, and like there's a Bose family and people associated with a houses on and off Two Mile Highway, associated with Allegro's Cafe, for example, involved with businesses next to them with racketeering on and off Hartford Hospital. Their roles with identity. I never had a conversation with that. The son of the guy I knew. I never had a conversation with him either. Just how the guy who owned that Allegro's Cafe before the guy kid now, the guy now, a young guy. Now, I don't know him. His neighbors, a Fazino family, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated that he's involved with them with WFSB and with Fox Connecticut News racketeering with them also on the on off the state judicial branch offices, where they pretend to record things and pretend to perceive things in relationship to their sequence shifts and racketeering with child offenders and racketeering with the training of state police and of the training of FBI, where they're used to raid with their family members and their roles with racketeering with other nations and overt criminal enterprises with areas and uses of that. Like you know, you see, we have the overtly forsaken. Now they also have a whole bunch of judges, family members, like a whole bunch of brothers with a associated with probate judges, also other courts involved with them criminally. But I never had a class with them either. They're recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with fire departments also involved with the on off College, on off Connecticut colleges, racketeering roles and uses of downtown Hartford. So with this Casper family through time, also as ones involved with racketeering, further confessed and recorded intercampuses in town through time, and with racketeering with Russians and all along routes that go like right to CCSU through different towns involved with spots along there. I never had conversations with all exceptions tied to a pattern of racketeering where they have strangers make confessions out of nowhere. And then those people are tied to attaching you to fake locations, fake words, fake natures of relationships to other. They even tie people to fake ties to doctors, not just mental doctors. They take people. These are all kinds of racketeering roles because they have exploitations of anomaly where you're not supposed to speak about medical. So they just attach people to fake ties to doctors, fake relationships to their doctors, family members. These are people real sick, interbranch through time, intercampuses. Now they also have recorded, confessed, and demonstrated a whole bunch of people that work with and associated with West Farms Mall, and with other smaller mall locations like on off. I forgot what they call the plazas in Wethersfield, but those little malls, like the one Nipsey Hussle will associate with, one of those little shopping plazas. The policing of those spots is recorded and involved with racketeering, where they have the Justice Department originally still involved with all this natures of racketeering with other nations shared self value, like with psychology. I tied to the Justice Department racketeering, military racketeering, uses of. There's a whole bunch of people with downtown Hartford recorded, confessed, demonstrated with racketeering with judges and with their family members of people and people with their courts with drug clicks and with other natures of identity racketeering and sequence shift racketeering with the end of the Burn Turnpike, with the golf course. These are also people racketeering uses of other golf courses with the identity theft. Never, because now when I talk, they need to put more fake things in databases. They need to value more and more the things in databases. Since I was a kid, they're not letting me get a response from. They're forging names, switching names. These are crime methods with each of the campuses. These are how they use from off campuses titles that are originally still involved in collusion with overt criminal enterprises, private ones, and their own branches of government, criminally foreign influenced, individually grouped together. They also have criminal uses of each age of girls and of women involved with the racketeering against women, and pretending to be about they wanting equality because they're using the value of women criminally, and they're knowing that you can't talk about equality until you're speaking about the Trinity, and until you're speaking about which not the religion per religion, the Trinity per science. which is why and how we're individual, natural, volume grouped and species bonded. At the same time, further positive or negative. That's why the rest of nature has no criminal foreign influences. So they're preventing what is actually recorded in logic's actual means to discern what is the proper way to solve things. They're preventing free speech, religion, and still. We have mass medical racketeering also involved, only because it's being furthered because of the. We have to counter the judicial and the recorded executive racketeering uses of it, and juxtaposed physical delusions, and as natures that pretend criminally that it's personal when you note their physical delusions, and they're recorded consciously pretending other people have physical delusions by forging names, switching names, and attaching us to fake ties to themselves and to their family members. Again, tied to the racketeering uses of each of the identity of the ground locations, tied to life progressions maintained, sustained, needed. Then, for example, needed each age of correlation nature's actual means to to connect things that are actually connected, how it's maintained, self-valued, sabotaged. The science that really, in other words, because real science never had free speech, that is why we have shootings in Hartford. That's a maintained outcome for a method, methodically. That's involved with the Justice Department, all private tied to them, all medical tied to them, especially the ones with badges, and military, foreign and domestic inclusion with them, with other natures of racketeering leading up to and in the Trade Center attack as fake sides roles valued. We have people that are pretending to be prejudiced, even if they are prejudiced. For example, as military police, foreign and domestic, as white and black military police involved with racketeering uses of Confederate flag themed, KKK themed, flag themed racketeering judges. Black and white women, female judges involved racketeering with child sex offenders. That is also recorded racketeering, KKK themed and black and white inclusion with that. Needed to pretend passions and emotions, lie about what is actually recorded. These again are people involved with racketeering leading up to and in the Trade Center attack context. Kuwaiti military, sexual circles with deans, with their family members involved with it. Again, with various natures of courts and their family members involved. Also, as ones with family members involved with the medical racketeering and foreign and domestic. Now, CCSU has people recorded and confessed intercities involved with racketeering further with Dakota's restaurant and with a place called On the Border Note. As also foreign and domestic nurses and stuff like that recorded, confessed, and demonstrated racketeering with foreign and domestic doctors of psychology, with a whole bunch of natures of racketeering with drugs with kids, and with uses of racketeering uses of the state of Connecticut congressional building and of other natures of cities congressional buildings. Mr. Lewis, please help. I will prove to you, I swear to God, I will not let you down. I will show to you conclusively how it is recorded originally and still, how there is a racketeering method that effectively has every single individual individually grouped together, rules with it, valuing the real causative negative value nature progressions, action natures, blamed on other things, others themselves. And where that is important, when in relationship to the criminal insidiousness natures, and the causes them actually with their motivations for roles with things like Jim Crow laws, let alone words slash values legal like slavery, where that legality is originally and still used for a breaching racketeering method that American history is really about. Please, Mr. Lewis, these are both parties real sick. Let me show you. Let me show you the branches of government, how they must break and fall. Here, answer well for them. Have them pick one name in sequence too when they respond to you, Mr. Lewis. This is interstates. Too long. People, black and white people are games with child offenders, intercampuses. That's the problem. No free speech and no science has been let voice. And what they call science, because it is physically science, they're using that for racketeering, pretending they don't realize they're pseudoscience. Racketeering, that's how they're valuing roles with styles of life, pretending, a title means what it doesn't. They don't understand. Oh, I don't understand that. They understand. That's recorded. Come on, Mr. Lewis. Let's get one congressman who's not afraid to counter these judges sick. I'll show you them recorded forging names, switching names. Their prosecutors are recording how raised racketeering rolls, or long-standing ones and newer ones. Interbranch from my town, real sick. Come on, Mr. Lewis. Get WFSB. Get WTNH. Get them done. Let's get Fox Connecticut News all off them involved with the shootings right around the corner from them in Hartford, Connecticut. With all the drugs racketeering we're involved with the uses of that to blame the groups on other things, others themselves. But blame the real causes of the predatory acts, negative value nature, progressions, acts, and natures. Blame all the things themselves originally still. But did you fail? I'll drop them here. Respond.